Welcome, everyone, to episode 365 of Dial the Gate, the Stargate Oral History Project. It'd be helpful if I turn my light on. There we go. More even that way. My name is David Reed. I really appreciate you being with me for this episode. I have Herbert Duncanson, who you're going to be surprised how often you may have seen him, is best known to Stargate fans as Douglas Anders / the robot Grell in Wormhole X-Treme. Welcome to the show, sir. How are you?
Oh, very good, very good. Thanks for having me.
I'm thrilled to have you on. Your relationship with Stargate goes way back, and it's so wonderful for us to be able to have a platform now where we share in these stories and make this show a lot of the stories that haven't been heard as much more visible to the audience, because it's an audience that's only growing. It's not going away. It may diminish here and there, but we're discovering as we move forward through time how evergreen it is. Herbert, I've been watching shows, a few episodes recently, that are more relevant now than when they were. Is that a surprise to you, or you're like, it's sci-fi, that's just how it works? How the mug? Oh God, how do you think about that in terms of the work and in terms of the writing and its perennial nature?
Yeah, I feel that I guess because it's sci-fi, maybe it's out of this world, but it can relate to what's going on in our lives, and in small ways, and even through the course of history, right? Mm-hmm. So I feel that it's very relevant. Yeah, very relevant. A lot of the writing that happens, because it a lot of, I guess, sci-fi, the creative part of it and the writing and the production of it can relate to our human lives and run parallel to what's going on in our lives. Yeah. There's
a lot there to mine. It's about us. It's about the human experience, exactly. And then we can take each individual episode and explore facets of that human experience in different ways.
Exactly.
So it's always some episodes age better than others, or the other way around. But I mean, there's always something there for everyone. And the thing that I've discovered about it, which I don't know is a surprise, but is once I became an adult and watch a lot of this stuff again, and this is not strictly for sci-fi, but mostly for sci-fi, you see things through different lenses.
Exactly.
And that's what's kind of wild about it. So it can mean different things to you
as you mature as a human, and as you move forward in this universe.
That's exactly right. Pardon the pun for the universe people out there.
Yeah.
You were recently doing your first Zoom auditions. You said you had taken with me before we started a bit of a hiatus, and now you're finding yourself in this new world. I'm very curious. Training remotely and preparing remotely and then doing it over Zoom, what has your experience been like?
So I had my first Zoom audition yesterday. Well, not yesterday, this week. I think it was on Tuesday. And I find it quite interesting, because now, as an actor, you have to be a bit of a director, a lighting person, right? You have to do lighting, right? You have to know how to, make sure your background is good and you don't have a shadow in your background by, certain techniques and stuff. So it's a lot more interesting, a lot more convenient, because, I don't have to go in until I book something. You go into Vancouver, into town, and then we shoot the production or whatever. So I can literally be on vacation somewhere and do a Zoom audition in the hotel room.
Wow. So all you need is reasonably good internet.
good light, good internet,
Yeah.
number one, and good lighting, even using daylight if you're, say, somewhere sunny, and the light comes in, but you don't want the light to be in your,
Right.
on at your back where you're this thing. You want the light facing you so that when they look at you, you'll shine a beautiful, so that people can see your eyes and your, you know, everything properly. So yeah, it's fun and convenient and new, but
Right.
and with everything new, there is a challenges and stuff, but it's good. Good, I like it. Yeah.
I think that as long as we can continue to have technology that allows us to communicate in real time with one another, because it's so
Yeah.
important for you as an actor to be able to demonstrate that you can take a note. It's not that what you're
Exactly.
doing is incorrect, it's that you have to be able to show that you can pivot to a request. And they're looking
Exactly.
for how you're going to respond to it, how it makes you feel, and what you
So,
play with. And you cannot do that strictly with a tape.
no, you can't. Yeah.
There's a lot going on there. And it's only going to be more interesting as we move forward.
Yes, and I think, yeah, I feel so too, because I think it also broadens the playing field for other actors who, you know, don't have the time. Sometimes some people are working, they have day jobs, they have
Kids.
kids, stuff like that, right? And it allows them to, well, okay, the kids are in school now. I can do an audition at home, while the kids are away, and then, take care of the house and go get groceries and stuff and come back and continue on with day-to-day life, right? So
Exactly.
that's very important.
I
Yeah.
want to talk about when you fell in love with acting and when you realized this is what you wanted to do with some of your life. You were from North Carolina, is that right?
Um, so that was a bit of a thing that IMDb kind of created.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, being from North Carolina, and the horsemen and stuff like that, because I was at a convention I think that was the one in Knoxville, Tennessee, and I was asked about that in a forum of conversation forum, question and answer forum, and I explained that, yeah, IMDb created that, I guess, because my name was similar to someone who was from North Carolina with the same last name, and he was in a wrestler at some point in his life.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, but I'm originally from Jamaica,
Jamaica.
but I ended up growing up in the U.S. in Maryland,
Well, we're going to
right?
fix that.
Yeah,
I'm taking a
yeah.
note right now.
Yeah, so I grew up in Maryland,
Okay.
right? And I was in the U.S. Army and stationed in Hawaii. And I met my kid's mom in Hawaii, which ended up she was from Canada, and I ended up moving up to Canada.
Okay.
And interestingly enough, my oldest daughter, I took her to a Pampers audition, right?
When she was still in diapers?
Yes, and it was for
Ah.
yeah, and they saw me and they were like, well, we don't have a lot of people in the industry at the time because it was pretty new to the Vancouver
Mm-hmm.
area of not very new, but this is small at the time. And they didn't
Smaller.
have any play, the dad roles. So me being in love with movies from when I was a kid, I ended up deciding, well, you know what? I'm gonna give this thing a try, and see how it goes. And, I'm not gonna quit my day job yet, but yeah, so I started doing a bit of extra work and then started doing commercials.
What year around would this have been?
This, I think, around 97, 98
Around the
ish.
beginning of SG-1. Okay.
Yes, yes. So I ended up started doing commercials and um, doing some acting parts and ended up on 13 Ghosts as a stand in for the actor. And he didn't show up. So they looked at me and said, well, try on the clothes and the costume, and we're gonna thing in the shoes, and everything fit.
The hammer, the
So
role was.
I ended up as the Hammer on 13 Ghosts,
That's a scary
which
film.
the production manager was friends with the production manager on Stargate.
Okay.
And at the time, they weren't very happy with the stand-in for Chris Judge. So they were like, I have a guy who you might can work. And so they linked me with them. I tried out for the first season, and I ended up standing in on the show for 6 years, and also booking about getting a bunch of parts and playing Unas and yeah, stuff like that. And yeah, a soldier with a scene with Richard Dean Anderson.
You're technically the leader of SG-12 in
Yes,
2001 in The Powers That Be.
being
So you technically have an SG team, sir. That is no small
yes,
feat.
yes, I know that. Ending up with playing Grell in the 100th episode and the 200th episode, which was amazing. Even the monologue that I did for the 200 closing of the 200th episode, I got that like the night before. Okay.
Yeah, because they
And
said that the Wormhole X-Treme stuff was a one-day shoot. That's what Jill said, was they got all that done in one day.
One day, yes. I was the last person on camera to do the monologue at the end of the shoot. And like, imagine being on set for like 12, 14 hours, and you're the last person on set. So you can't mess it up because everybody is tired. They want to go home, right?
That's right.
And yes, Martin Wood, I tell you, he brought out something of me that I didn't even know I had in myself, to be able to, say a monologue like that on camera and get it right. And,
Well, Herbert, it's not just a monologue. It's you're buttoning up the symbol of what the franchise
of everything.
can represent.
Putting on the finishing bow on everything, pretty much. Yeah.
That's
the whole
an
experience.
honor.
I know it. I to this day I watch it on YouTube and sometimes, and I'm like, I'm amazed. Yeah.
It's tremendous.
Yes.
I'd like to finish out the episode today if you could quote that once again, and I've just sent it to our conversation that we were talking on through Facebook before. If you would be willing
to read it
later on, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's so important to me and to many of us as Stargate fans because of it really is a representation of who we are as a species. And I think Asimov really hit it on the head there, and it's one of the finest moments in all the show.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
So you were brought in originally to be, was it a stand? Is there a difference between like a stand-in and a photo double? How does that work?
Okay, so a stand-in, so Chris will come in and they'll do a rehearsal with the actors, the main actors, right? And then they will send the actors back to continue getting prepared, wardrobe or makeup or whatever, and then the stand-in will stand in and follow the movements and watch what Chris did. I watch him and then I follow the movements of what he does for the lighting guy and the camera operator, right? So whatever movements that Chris did, they will ask me to walk the same path. If he's holding a folder, or if he's going to choke someone, or he's action or anything of that nature. I watch the rehearsal with the actors, and then I do the same movement as Chris for the camera guy and for the lighting guy to put the light in the positions where he will be standing and where he'd be moving. And also a photo double, which is like, for instance, you have A camera and then you have B camera, right?
Yes.
And say B camera is shooting a part of the episode that, say, maybe my hand going into something, or Chris's hand picking up a folder, or
so like inserts.
inserts, right?
Okay, I think
And
that's
they
what Martin Wood calls them.
right, yes, and you want to shoot those. So they use me, and they would probably put me in the same uniform and use my hand to put the folder in, right? Or they might want to shoot a scene where there's a part of Chris that they didn't get a full shot of body wise, right? But they saw his face, but not his body or his shoulder or his arm or something.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's where photo double comes in.
And that may sound like it's either easy or they're putting you over here until you're called on. My understanding is it's a fair bit of work. Like you have to pay close attention and be ready for when they call you and be ready to know
As a
what is
stand
that's going on.
as a stand-in, yes, you have to know. You have to know when they need you because like most people say in the industry is like a hurry up and wait industry, right? Because they might use Chris for one scene in the first part of the day, and then he might not be in the next two scenes or something,
Yeah.
right? But I follow along, which luckily we do get the script, right? So I can go and look at the script and say, well, oh yeah, Chris is in scene so and so today, and but he won't be using in scene 209 until maybe later in the evening, or sometimes he might be in the other half of the day, it might be like from midday till 7, and they'll bring me in like say 11 o'clock, right?
Okay.
And I'll stand in for him from 12 on when he's there. So yeah, the schedule fluctuates, but the beautiful thing is like we're like a family. It was the most amazing show I've ever worked on and will ever work on, I think, in a long time, because that show just transcend. uh, that was it was more like a job, but a job with a group of people that were cohesive, and we all worked together and we laughed together, we had fun, yeah. And it allowed for me to spend time in the summer with my daughters, and
Yes.
because yeah, it was beautiful. Yeah, and I'm still connected to a lot of those people to this day.
Oh,
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
one of the things that has been talked about a lot on this channel is how cognizant of work-life balance everyone was as much as they could be given this industry, because sometimes there are
yes,
16, 17-hour, 18-hour days occasionally,
yes,
but generally speaking there were
yes.
rarely night shoots. It was much
Really,
more of like a
yeah,
9 to 5, and they did that on purpose so
yes.
that you guys could have structure and not burn out so quickly, because our television, 20 episodes a year, you burn
Oh yeah.
out as
Oh
opposed to like
yes.
half-hour television.
Oh, big time. Yes. Very true. Yeah. And it was good. Yeah, it was very good because summertime I forgot, I think I don't know if it's about like we had a month off. So I could take my daughters, and spend summer camping and doing stuff, outdoor stuff, and spend time with them when they were out of school, which was great. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was good. It was very good.
I don't
And we got the best gifts at
Are the
at the
crew
end of
gifts?
yeah, it's crew gifts. Yeah, the best crew gifts ever. Yeah.
Do you have the 10th anniversary watch from Master Replicas?
Yes, sir. Yes, I still have it. Of
They
course.
are so
Yes.
cool with the iris
Made
opening and
to the
closing.
top open. Yeah.
Man, oh man. Speaking
Yeah.
of 201 little bit, Mark Nicholson, the one of the prop builders
Yeah.
from that particular season, he came on either last weekend or the weekend before, and showed me this, and I
Oh
was
wow.
like, hold on, wait a second, that's not Douglas.
No.
Who is that?
So that is an African guy. His name, I can't remember his name.
Looks just like, built
Oh
just like Chris, but because Teal'c
yeah.
in this flashback scene was bald, they needed
Yes.
to use someone else.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
and
he looked, yeah, yeah. I remember I forgot his name,
okay,
but
that's fair.
yeah, he looks pretty much, yeah.
He fits the bill. When Christopher started growing his hair in, did you have to as well?
Actually, no.
Okay, okay,
Yeah, they would like if they had a scene where we had the photo double, they would put like a fake wig on me from the back or
okay,
whatever, similar. But
okay.
yeah, no, I guess because I was already bald in the initial stages of when he started out. And so, yeah, they didn't put any pressure on me to grow my hair or anything like that.
There you
Yeah.
go. That
Yeah.
that that makes it work. You
Yes.
you said that you have played an Unas.
Yes, I have.
Is this the episode Beast of Burden where you are also one of the guards in the
Yes.
village?
Yeah. Yes.
Really? What was that the first time you had been under makeup of that kind?
Yes. Yes.
Tell me about this experience. Tell me about being
It
completely
was
enclosed and the whole
yeah.
thing, as much as you can remember.
Um from what I remember, it actually 13 Ghosts, the makeup from 13 Ghosts was a lot longer than the
Okay.
Unas because the Unas I think you had to just put on a head part and then
And then,
did some touch-ups. Yeah, but 13 Ghosts was a lot more intense. Yeah.
wow. Alex Zahara is one of those Unas as well. He actually played in the bar scene. He played a female. He's one of the few female Unas, if not the only female Unas that we've seen.
Yeah,
As a matter
yeah.
of fact, what was it like getting that physicality down? What was it like transforming into that character? I bet those were hot days.
Yes. Very, very hot days. Yes, yes. And then being outside and then like you'd have to at least when we cut, they would allow us to take off and kind of get some air and breathe,
Mm,
a little bit and stuff. So yeah,
mm.
it was good.
I am curious to know because it can't be that because I didn't know about that. If there, let me pull this up here just so you can see. So these are the roles that Stargate Wiki credits you for.
Right.
So we have the SG-12 leader in 2001 in the Powers That Be. We have the guard in Beast of Burden. So that we're gonna have
Sure.
to add an Unas to that, and then the SG guard in Allegiance. You're seen with
With
Rick here. Are there any others noteworthy that you can recall that we need to be adding to this?
um
Because it's like a
no,
blink. It's you were
well those
available a lot for them. So
yeah, well those were like like if someone didn't show up,
I see.
they would say, Herb, they throw you in that. And they were just not actor roles. They were more like background roles, right?
Exactly.
Just to make the scene, like sometimes, well, we have one Jafar missing. You know what I mean, Herb, could you, yeah. So I'd suit up and yeah, stuff like that, right?
Oh, okay. So we would have to go through episode by episode, and be like, okay, I remember that day. Okay, so you've been a
Yeah,
Jaffa.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah. It would be like, yeah, then I'd have to be like, yeah, right, that's right. I remember, yeah. They asked me to fill in that day or something like that. That's how it is. Yeah.
those like Dan Shea,
Yes.
those folks, they're so the flexibility that you have to have in an
Yes.
environment like this because there's so many moving pieces. There's like 150 of them, if not more, and
Of
any
course.
of them can go wrong at the
Yes.
complete innocence of the person who's pulling this. Power failures, batteries and props. Evil Kenny
And
always talked about that.
yes, yes, yes. Kenny, yeah, yeah. Oh, yes. Kenny was amazing because, like, to be able to, you have to follow the script and you have to know which gadgets beforehand is going to be used. You know what I mean? And he's good with the weapons. He was good with Kenny. Was like, yeah. I've never, well, not I would say I've never, but it's been a long time that I've worked with a team of people in the industry that was so very professional with everything that they've done. Like even going upstairs and having small conversations with the writers, right? And to see how they can just bring all their thoughts to paper and then we take it from the paper and bring it to life. You know what I mean? And yeah, and every person, the wardrobe person, the
Yeah,
um, sewing department, the
yeah.
props department, the drivers, the caterers, like it's so many different moving parts, but all meshed together to create this beautiful, beautiful, long lasting, show, a TV series that transcends time, you know.
What do you think it is about Stargate in particular that when people come on here and say, not only was it a great job, but it's, in my recollection, the best job that I had, time and time again. Does it start at the top? Do you think that's why it's, as non-pretentious as it is, considering a fairly volatile and competitive industry? What do you think is the alchemy that continues to have people recollect this as one of the best, if not the best, projects they were privileged to work on?
Um, I would say bottom and top,
Okay.
right? Because they understood us and made it, capable us to work in a way that we were the most productive at what we do.
You were
And then,
empowered.
right? And I guess from the bottom, we saw that, wow, they cared about us, right? So we're going to do the best to, make sure everything went well. And then working with people over time, I was standing in for 6 years on the show. You become like, is it becomes like a rhythm, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? And you're happy to see each other when we go back when the season starts, and you know your role in the scheme of things, and you help. I'll help the camera guys, help load the truck, move the dolly, or you know what I mean, like little things that are not your jobs, but you just chip up because it's your family and you're all friends. Maybe like Chris maybe needs some water, or
Yeah.
Amanda might need a pen or something. I'll just I'll get it for you.
You're
But
there for each other.
yeah, and we're there for each other. So I think time also, and the project, right? The project itself was so interesting and fun and different, right? And so we had fun, right? You learned, and you read, and you play with each other, and we worked out with each other, and we went to the rap parties together, and you know what I mean, like, and you become like a family. To this day, I am still friends with John Smith. Like I see
Good guy.
him, yeah, yeah, so it's like a never-ending family. Like we'll always be family. Don't care where. I remember going to Hawaii um, when the show ended, and I ended up seeing one of the camera guys in Waikiki, Will Waring, right? So
Well,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
uh,
So you know what I mean? It's yeah, we'll always be a family. Yeah, you know.
it's it's a gift to have
Yes, yes. And then the
that blessing.
spin-offs, even the spin-offs that we had, Atlantis and the other ones and stuff, they became our family too, right?
Hmm.
Because even though SG-1 had ended, we were like the mothership, and then everybody else was like the smaller ships that took off from us. So,
Was
so yeah.
especially with the universe that, because it was by itself. Was there a here's my number. If you have any questions about anything, call me. Was there any like handoff in terms of production where like you would be willing to take a call from anybody to assist if there was a question, or was it like there was no need for that because they were just as competent as everyone else was?
I think yes. I think we knew that if there was a need to, because I've like some of the writers have gone on, and even like Peter DeLuise have gone on to like shot other direct other stuff, and
Hmm.
sometimes I've gone into auditions. I'm like, hey, and I see each other, and
Ah,
we audition, and maybe I don't get the part because
yeah,
maybe I'm not right fit, but
yeah.
we have our little little time, and fine, and we just move on. And I understand the business to know that I don't take anything personal with it. So yeah.
Just to have the opportunity, to be present for that. And now, with Zoom and everything else, it's going to add some flexibility there. That's really cool.
Yeah,
I've got
yeah,
some fan questions that I'd like to start weaving in here, if that's okay with you.
absolutely, yeah.
So Lockwatcher says, you played as the Hammer in 13 Ghosts. How was it working? Do you recall working with Tony Shalhoub and the rest of that cast? What was it like
Oh,
on that set? Any stories from this film? Because he says, we already shared the story about how you got the role.
yeah.
Is there anything else that stands out?
Um, well, the hours were very long,
Oh,
actually,
jeez.
like 18, because it was a feature film, right?
Yeah.
So it was 18-hour days. Um, the Dark Castle, so his daughter now owned the rights to the 13 Ghosts.
Okay.
And the one thing that almost happened was, which is actually pretty epic. She had broken her leg at
Mm.
something, right? And we were sitting on. I was sitting next to her and stuff, and we were talking about a premiere that was supposed to happen in LA, right? And I had mentioned to her, I said, hey, it would be cool if we had the premiere, they show the movie, and then at the end of the movie, in the theater, all the ghosts are lined up along the side of the theater. And then once the 13 Ghosts is done, we all have spotlights on us. And you turn on the lights, and all the ghosts are in the theater, right? And so she loved it. And so she went up and said something to the production office upstairs, right? And so I guess we had plans to so no, fast forward. So the movie got shot, and the ending of 13 Ghosts was all the ghosts were supposed to be dead in the house, right?
Yeah.
On the day of 9/11, okay, I remember them saying we're going to shoot, and we were at a old car lot that used to be a dealership, and it was a warehouse. And so we were there. I went through makeup and wardrobe, and I was sitting in makeup at the time. And one of the sound guy was not too far away in another room. And someone said, "Oh, hey, there's a plane that just crashed into a tower, but Jackie Chan is supposed to be doing a movie um in New York, right?" So they thought that was a stunt, right? And then when the second plane crashed, then they realized that it was not a stunt. But that day we were supposed to reshoot the ending of 13 Ghosts so that we all walked away in the mist, right? To leave it open for a sequel, right? And that's what happened. But they shot it, and we couldn't get the tape back to LA. And the directors couldn't get back to
Everything
LA.
closed.
Everything shut down, no flights or anything. And the only way they got back to LA was they had to rent a car. And being that, Vancouver is in the same time zone as San Francisco, LA
Right.
and stuff, so they were able to drive down
Wow.
and got back home that way.
Was
But
that added to the film? Did they make it?
I don't think they added that
Okay.
section to it. All they added to the film was that the ghost walked away in the ending,
Okay.
right?
And that was shot
Because
on
when
9/11.
we previous, and it happened on the day of 9/11. So that's
Wow.
a very one thing that really stood out about that movie.
Those
Working on.
well, none of us who remember that day will never forget that day if we were
That's exactly what
old
I
enough
mean.
to.
Well, and that would be a part of 13 Ghosts to me
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah.
can I can
And
tell you
they
which
never
episodes
put
of
it in
Stargate were
preview.
shooting that day and the guest stars who were there. I mean, it's all there. It's encapsulated.
Yes, yes,
Man.
yeah.
Raj Luthra wanted to know, were there ever plans to have you return to more of the Stargates, or have you involved in them? And when a new Stargate series gets made in the future, at whatever point that Amazon MGM chooses to do that, would you be interested in returning?
I would love to. That would be the most amazing thing to happen. Yeah, no, that would, yeah, yeah. And especially if I can return as Grell, you know?
I think so. I am down for it. I think that is an in joke that should continue to run.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think it would be awesome.
Did you audition for Douglas Anders slash Grell?
Actually, no, no. They
Tell me
just
about that story.
Yeah, I think from what I remember,
Yeah,
no, I didn't audition for it. They looked at, I guess because the stand-ins were not a lot of them were like Chris or
yeah,
like the characters, but they had actors like, that were the stand-ins weren't more none of the other stand-ins were pursuing acting that
I
way,
see.
put it this way. I was doing stand-in and I was also doing acting. So I think once they saw that and I got some smaller roles in SG-1,
Yep.
they were like, yeah, okay, so we can still, use him because he would know, you know, how to maneuver on stage and stuff like that. So that's how I became Grell. Yeah.
And it's funny because part of the in joke, the continuing in joke of the franchise, is how rarely Teal talks. And so in this
Right.
one, all you do is, mm.
Yes, and my eye move, the eye movement. Yeah.
Specifically to that, Matt 4812, can you do an eyebrow raise without the fishing line, or is that a joke that mirrored reality?
I don't know. I can try. I don't think. No, it. I think it was kind of to make fun of the fact that Chris could do it and I couldn't do it. So that's
So
why
it
they
really
kind
was an inside
yeah,
joke.
yeah. It was kind of a bit of a joke. Yeah,
That is
yeah,
fantastic. Oh
yeah.
man, it's little things like that in that episode
Yes,
that really
yeah.
make it stand out. Everyone's behind the scenes cameo, from Greenberg and Brad Wright on down.
Yes, yes.
There's probably more than just typical fans would even know is going on. What is your favorite in joke in Wormhole X-Treme or 200? Have you
Um,
seen them?
I watched them both.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think I just liked Peter DeLuise's dialogue that he had, where he was talking all fast and stuff. I thought that was priceless. Yes, yes,
No, he's a
yeah, and he was making fun of the guys as like run, you guys and stuff. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I think it, and that's how he was on set. Like day to day. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think it was just funny. Yeah,
Kenny,
those
I love
guys
you,
were.
but you are not in this scene.
Yeah, I know,
That's
right?
so good. Oh
Yes,
man, there is an alchemy that is not easily reproduced with
right.
those shows, and it was so fitting that for the 200th they brought you guys
Together,
back
yeah.
once again. What
Once again,
about that camouflage costume with the four holes in the front of it?
schools
And
in
then
it.
it's like no, that the Gould pouch is down here.
That,
I'm assuming
yeah,
that that's kind of where Martin took that from.
yeah.
That's it's kind of, and obviously ridiculous. The whole thing of it.
I know, like even the fact that we came from outer space as a whole different thing to come to the world. It's yeah. It was. Those guys are brilliant, man. They're brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Like writers, creators. Everybody on that show just brought their best self
Mm-hmm.
to the show in their art and their creativity and their knowledge, and yeah, it's yeah,
I should have
yeah.
asked this first, but it was more like, When the 100th was coming along and they wanted to do a show within a show, like they were going to spoof themselves, did it take a minute to wrap your brain around what it was that they were going to do? Because they were going to take most of the same assets and they were just going to dial the ridiculousness to 11.
Yeah. I didn't read when I didn't read the first script, like the 100 episode right away. I kind of read it like when I realized I was going to be in it. Like I was like, oh wait, you know what I mean? Like they're using me, and then so I started reading, and the fact that they were going to like create a different, like a whole different SG-1. I mean, like characters, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was to me like it's insane, and I thought it was ingenious, like to come up with, like another Amanda, another Chris,
There was something. I know that Jill had auditioned for
yes, Jill
Carter.
and those,
And
yeah,
I don't know if
Jill,
Christian had auditioned for Daniel or not because I haven't spoken with him.
yeah, he might have. I'm not sure. I don't remember, but for the 100 episode, I think they already had me in mind when they
See.
were writing it. Yeah, because they were like, well, yeah, Herb can do it because all he's got is, yeah, so yeah, it was good. And then I guess that went so well that then they decided to write the 200 episode. And literally, I didn't think it would be me to end the episode. They told me, like, they gave me the monologue, that piece of beautiful information, like the night before.
Wow.
And yeah, I was like, this is a golden opportunity for me to like showcase my talent and end this beautiful season of an episode and everything. And it's a golden moment,
Did it?
I rehearsed and I rehearsed and I rehearsed and I rehearsed and yeah.
Did it? Is that a one take, or did it take a couple of times to get it
We
right?
did a couple of takes because Martin, he likes to do just a couple to have a variety, to choose from. But it was one or two takes. It didn't take very long.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can you share it with us?
Yes.
It would mean
Let
a
me go
lot to me.
grab. Yes, I'll get my glasses. I have to go run.
Oh, thank you. So I really appreciate it so much.
Yeah, 2 seconds.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm going to talk about my tie.
Yeah.
So while Herbert is doing that, I just want to thank my buddy Remington Phillips for this Stargate tie. I think he picked it up at where was it? Atlanta's Dragon Con for me. So Remington, thank you so much for that. And he is responsible for SG1props.com. If you guys want to take a look at some of the work that he's done, and he does custom orders as well, I can't recommend his pieces enough over there. So you can check his website out, and I'll also put a link in the description below. I wasn't sure if Herbert would be willing to share this line, but I was like, oh, please, maybe he'll be up for this. So, because it's one of the signature moments in all of the series. I mean, it's up there in the top 10 in terms of like individual lines that have made the show what it is. And if you ask folks like Brad or Rob, they'll be like, we're here to entertain first, but they also are aware of the subject matter of the show and what it is that what it brings to people who are generational science fiction fans. So it was one of those things that you really, when you think about it in hindsight, the 200th episode could not have been buttoned up in a better way. So it's kind of perfect. Here he is with his glasses.
All right. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, Isaac Asimov once said, individual science fiction stories may seem as trivial as ever to the blinder critics and the philosophers of today. But the core of science fiction, its essence, has become crucial to our salvations if we are to be saved at all.
Thank you, Herbert. That means a lot.
Thank you, Dave. Yes.
Jacob, how do you feel about that quote in hindsight? Jacob wanted to know.
I feel that it resonates with our whole journey that we've been on, on Stargate, right? It encapsulates everything, right? And yes, it's a poignant speech in our time in Stargate and also in our lives. That's how I feel about it. Yeah, and it's a very good, very strong quote that I from time to time, like before, I would like look at it and go, wow, that's pretty cool. Yeah, it's very good.
One of the greatest writers of
yes
of our time.
Yeah, futuristic, and he was very eloquent in the way he expressed himself, and yeah.
Christina Graziella wants to know, after all of the experiences of you've had watching these interstellar worlds be made, do you believe at some point we may encounter travelers from beyond? Do you think that that life exists outside of this world?
Yes, because I feel like we as humans, I think as now we're reaching AI and stuff, right? I feel like if our minds can think of it, why wouldn't it be possible? You know what I mean? Like, there's the man on Mars, and there's other islands out there, or other planets out there that we haven't even tapped into, right? The universe is infinite, right? So
in many respects, yeah.
Yeah, I think that there is some form, there could be, you know what I mean? And I think eventually we will probably at some point have a visitor, or maybe, tap into another planet and find that there are other inhabitants out there, or other species out there, or life forms of some sort, that we probably can communicate with.
I think that your point about the universe being infinite is the hardest thing for us to digest, because let's say, yes, there is life. Sure.
Yeah.
It's so big out there, and
Right.
so is it intraversible? Is that the word that I want? You can't just go from one to the other. You have to have the technology to break the laws of physics. So we can't just pay each other a visit like taking a stroll across the street if others are out there. And I think that's going to be the major hurdle that we're going to have to overcome. But I agree. I think that there's some kind of life.
Yeah, because you look at it, right? Even from the dinosaur ages, right? They were like, oh yeah, well, certain species evolved over time from then, right? So what preceded them? What was before them? What life form was before them? We don't know.
It's all buried under the earth.
Exactly. We only know what we have unearthed and, find out. But where did those life form comes from to get to this planet, right? So you never know. Earth could be not the first planet or the first Earth.
Oh, the one that we're standing on right now. Yeah, Galactica also posits that.
Yeah, it could be Earth number 2.
Yeah. I read an interesting. I forget which scientist was talking about it, but I mean, if a meteor came and pummeled us today, like the dinosaurs 65 million years ago, you wait another 65 million years, and another species develops and starts digging us up. In terms of how large we are as a civilization, they're not going to find as much as you might think. They might only find a handful
Right.
of human remains because of the way in which those things were preserved. They wouldn't
Right.
find it's far less to go on over that span of time than you might
Right.
think. And that's extraordinary how much potential life has been here.
Exactly. Exactly. We don't know.
We don't know.
Right. So we can't say we might be like, well, Earth One was, there could have been an Earth One previously to this Earth,
Mm-hmm.
right? That probably created this Earth.
Mm-hmm.
The dinosaurs could have come from there to here,
This is why
right?
I love sci-fi.
Yeah,
Because it opens up our minds to possibility. It's not like, oh, that's not possible. It's like,
Oh,
what if?
yes, exactly. And there's always that um, curiosity about it. I've always, kept that open curiosity that nothing is concrete in terms of our universe,
That's it.
right?
That's it.
Because look at the multitude of different plants and flowers and
Right.
animals and you know
The whole
birds,
rainbow of them.
name it, you name it, right? Even humans, our
Mm-hmm.
differences and countries and you know likes and our foods and our
Mm-hmm.
mannerisms and so I wouldn't rule out you know that there could be another planet and it could be another life form out there and that could teach us more than we think we know
Can
as
even
humans.
imagine. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
The uh, the future
I
is
think you
going
have
to
to
be
be open.
interesting. Yes,
You
you
have
have
to
to be
get
open.
open.
Yeah,
Yes, yes. And
absolutely.
don't, people would say, oh, he's ridiculous for thinking these things and da da da. Because
Sure.
nothing is in stone. I feel there's
That's right.
nothing. Yeah, nothing's like there forever. So there's always a movement of life. You know what I mean? Even us as us, they tell us, if you want to stay healthy, you have to keep moving,
That's
right?
it.
So,
And that's
and
also up here.
yes, exactly.
Not to say that all of our longstanding values are worthless, but in
No,
terms of being willing to face and move into a new frontier. I mean, look at our history 50 years ago, 100 years ago. The things that we even as recently as that took for granted that
yes,
we've discovered are not completely true or even not, a little or just only half true. Imagine 50, 100 years from now.
exactly.
It's the who knows what's going to be our reality.
The evolution, right?
That's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Or adaptation or
That-
whatever have you. So, Herbert,
yeah.
this has been really special to me. The one last thing, and I forgot to ask you, and I don't want to forget before I let you go. When you were handed Wormhole X-Treme,
Yes.
did they tell you, just so you don't have one line in this, or did you read it thinking that there would be, and it turned out that there was only a
Um. Well, I knew from before that Chris even, he said very little. So, um, when I saw Romeo Scream and I didn't have any lines, I was like, perfect. It fits into the narrative of Chris. Like, you know what I mean? Perfect. Because for me to have dialogue, a lot of dialogue would have kind of negate the purpose of the whole thing.
For
You know what I
sure.
mean?
I'm just curious when you were handed the script, what your approach was. Like, did you
Yeah,
did
no,
you did you read it the first time through not knowing if he would have any, or did you anticipate he's
no,
probably not going to have much?
I kind of had a feeling that
Okay,
it would have been, if he had lines, it would have been very minimal, right?
indeed.
The whole premise of it was to kind of, you know, like I'm from a different place, but I don't speak. You know what I mean?
And
So
you're
it would
echoing
kind of, yeah. So
too.
that would kind of threw him off in a way. You know what I mean? Too. Chris. Yeah. So yeah.
Your actor persona, Douglas Anders is actually the one who gives the Asimov quote at the end of
Right.
200. Christopher's actual first name is Douglas, and I've always
Douglas.
wondered if that was on purpose or if that was just an accident, a happy accident.
I think it was on purpose because the guy who had the vision of I'm going to direct an episode with these guys out of here. That was his kind of trying to, you know what I mean?
Maybe he pulled a
Like
little bit from our reality
yes,
and hired
add a
someone
little.
named Douglas.
Yes.
That's so
Yes.
weird. It's so awesome. It, Herbert, thank you so much for taking
Yes.
time today. This
Having
was
me.
so cool.
Yes, it was
So,
awesome. Yes.
you so you're auditioning. Is there anything you're really wanting to do next in the next few years of your work? Is there anything that you're hoping to do? Are there what kind of
Um,
goals are you setting for yourself?
I feel I would love to get on a TV series,
Yeah.
working towards that. And I would love to do a feature. I'd probably like play one of the heroes or something, maybe, you know,
There we
something
go.
crazy. Or if another Stargate
Yeah.
pops up.
You certainly have
All
the
right.
build for it, sir.
Yeah, yeah. You
So,
know,
what is your
so
secret? Work out 3 or 4 times a week every day?
3 times a week.
Yep.
Um, I'm part of the 5 o'clock club. I start to get up at 5 and then go to the gym for 6 o'clock. Yeah, and drink lots of water and lots of greens.
Lots of green.
Yeah.
It's a routine, you know?
Yes. Yes.
So,
I mean, for most actors, it's who take acting seriously, on that level. Your
yep.
physicality also is very important, right?
That's right.
Because it also, shows the way you look on camera, right? And you can see from some examples of some actors who, they get a bit of success and they just let themselves go and not, take care of themselves. But I guess maybe because they're financially set, they're at the point in their lives where they don't care anymore, and they're on the downswing of their career. But I feel just for your own self-worth and you know, taking care of yourself as a
Yeah.
person.
Living is
And
moving.
yes, and being in the industry, it's good to be because it gives you more stamina for those long days,
Yeah,
right? When you have to work 12, 14-hour days. And
exactly. You have to be able to
yeah,
rest when you're
short
not
term.
there.
Yes, it keeps you very grounded that way too, right? So, and yoga is a big part of my life. Yeah,
It's not as
yeah.
easy as it looks.
Oh no, you have to. It's like owning a vehicle, right? You have to make sure
Yes.
the oil's there. You tune up, good tires. Yeah. So, and you want it to run well. So, if you want to be a good human and a good actor, you should invest in yourself. In
Especially when
those
you're going in front of people and saying, "You see this? I want you to hire this." As
exactly,
well as what's in here. But the two have to
precise.
come together.
Yes,
So,
precisely, precisely.
thank you so much for taking the time with us today. This was a real pleasure, and it meant so much to me to have you on. And
Yes,
truly, all the best, sir.
yeah. Same to you too. Thank you so much, David.
Thank you, sir. I'm going to go ahead and wrap the show up on this side, but you
All
be
right.
well.
Bye to all the fans out there. Keep
Thank you,
supporting
sir.
it. Yes, yes, yes.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Take care.
Bye bye. Herbert Duncanson, everyone. Douglas Anders, Grell, leader of SG-12, UNAS. There are no small parts in a thing as big as Stargate. And everyone from, the catering on up to Mike and Rick and Brad and Robert and Jonathan all pulled this off for 17 seasons of wonderful television. My name is David Reed. You're watching the Stargate Oral History Project. If you enjoy our content on this show and you want to see more of it, please click that like button. It makes a difference with the show and will continue to help us grow our audience. Please also consider sharing this video with a Stargate friend. And if you want to get notified about future episodes, click subscribe. And clips from this live stream will be released over the course of the next few weeks on both the Dial the Gate and GateWorld.net YouTube channels. Tremendous thanks to my production team, Anthony Rowling, Kevin Weaver, Summer Roy, and Bryce Orrs. My moderators, Anthony, Jeremy, Kevin, Lockwatcher, Marcia, Raj, and Jacob. You guys make the show possible week to week. And Matt Eagle SG Wilson for his amazing opening sequences, and Frederick Marcoux over at Concepts Web, who keeps dialthegate.com up and running. And Remington over at SG1props.com. Thanks for the time, man. We've got a couple more weeks of shows heading for you before we wind down season 5 and go into hiatus until probably late March. But I'm very proud of the work that we've done this year, and very thankful to all of you who have tuned in to watch and continue to make it possible. My name is David Reed for Dial the Gates. Appreciate you. Thanks again to Herbert Duncanson for sharing so many great stories together today. I'll see you on the other side.